my goal realistic. So given my established and available resource at the time is being able to accomplish my goal realistic, right?
Mm-hmm. Realistic's very, very realistic.
Yeah.
Can you guys put the heater on, please?
So some of the things that when you go out on the internet and you look up, there's these 3 questions that are within the same, like a lot of the articles or blogs or whatever, there's a lot of worksheets also out there. And I do recommend, getting a worksheet, starting to write all this down. But am I able to answer yes to the following questions? Is my goal realistic? Is my goal attainable given my time and resources? And am I able to commit to achieving this goal? Mm-hmm. And I think that last one's actually kind of important because because if you can't commit, then, and it's not just because you don't want it, but maybe like right now, like just the way things are going, like you just don't have the time or you don't have the resources, right? So you can't commit to that. So, so if you can't do that, then it's like, okay, what do I need to do to get the time, to get the resources? And then at that point you can commit to your goal. And this is why it's so important to really start with, just come back to the fundamentals and start with this. So that way you can, get your business going. So that's the R. So the T is, what is the timing of my goal? So by creating a start and finish date, it provides a sense of urgency, which can give you focus and motivation in achieving the goal, along with setting some priorities. So this is kind of where, like, maybe you want to start some lists out. It's like, where do I want to be a year from now? So if this is where I want to be a year from now, how am I going to get there? This is what I need to do every month. This is what I need to do every week. And this is what I need to do every day. And when you start writing these lists, like obviously the daily list, I write my next day's list the night before. So that way it's all ready to go. And I know as soon as I waking up the next morning, I know exactly what I'm going to start doing. So
you before, at least before you go to bed that night, you have a list of what you're going to do the following day.
Exactly. Yes.
Think about it a little bit. And that list can change as you go along, right?
And I'll add to it, like on the, because sometimes things will pop up and I make sure I write it down. Because it's not just about doing everything that's on my list, but it's about doing at least the top 3 things on my list first.
Okay.
Because sometimes if you don't write it, and I don't have that list, I'll just do the easy things first.
Sure.
So sometimes it's, sometimes about doing the hardest thing first.
Get it out of the way.
Yeah. Exactly. Let's just get that. And then also there's a sense of accomplishment, right? You're like, oh, I did that. And then like now you want to do more, and it brings, definitely brings some. That
list can make a difference. I usually do that the night before I write everything out the following day.
Yeah. Yeah.
So does that cover pretty much everything when you're thinking about starting that business? Do you think? It's a good start.
It's a good start. I mean, it's definitely a good start. There's a lot more that, going into it. Like I mentioned, there's like a business plan, there's, mission statement, there's your budgeting, your forecasting, so that way, because you're going to need to know and understand like what capital you're going to need, where you're going to get it from, and how you're going to spend it. You're going to also need to look at, depending on what type of business, I mean, your vendors and who your clientele are, and just, how, of course now we can't really get anything from anywhere brought into the world. So where am I going to get my supplies from?
Well, I guess it depends on this. This is also a good time because just to show you, there's a lot of businesses that probably, I don't think anybody was ever prepared for the coronavirus.
No, I mean, I don't think we ever are really prepared for anything where we're at right now.
So the thing is certain businesses are going to do really well. Mm-hmm. There's some businesses that are probably going to do very well at all. And so they're going to have hopefully some assistance from the government during this period of time, depending on what that is. So I guess really, you just try to find the best business that you can get into and do your best. That's all you can do.
Yeah. And one of the things too is, something I heard recently, which just really hit me and was really kind of profound is, the price that I'm willing to pay is the price people are willing to pay for me. So that's kind of where, you got to make sure that you're willing to put in your own effort, because then at that point you're gaining your skills, and then you're actually making yourself more valuable to the person that you want to. Well,
yeah, you should never give away your services. You should always have value of what you do.
Absolutely.
But also, is there a website that I could go to if I wanted to get more information on what you're doing, or is there something coming up that you should be looking for?
Well, we do have something coming up. I'll have all the social media sites and stuff.
We're excited to see all the great stuff you're going to be doing.
I'm excited.
I think this is a great time to start a business.
Yeah. Any time's really a good time to start a business, but definitely I'm just excited right now, just with a lot of things that are going on just with me and professionally and personally. I think this is this is definitely where I'm supposed to be, is right here, right now. So I'm pretty excited. But yeah, we'll get the social media sites up. It'll, be at Krista Does Numbers.
Oh, I always laugh when you say that.
I mean, how can you not? Thank you. Of course, it doesn't help with the little wink I give you too, right? But all right. Well, thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time.